Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a V8 powered Gladiator. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Carl Malone Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Heber, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently, and then also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. So under the hood we have a 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now this is the engine from the Challenger/Charger. So power outputs are most likely around 485 horsepower and then about 475 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. And this is built off of a Rubicon, so you guys can see the hood vents are on either side. Funny that has the entry-level headlights. We've got this aftermarket front bumper here. You can see winch integrated with it. You've got fog lights, all of that. Definitely gives it a crazy look, that is for sure. It's obviously going to help out with the approach angle, having the tires pop out that much. But we do have larger sized wheels. You guys can see the rating here, 37 by 13.5 by 20. So, solid setup. I'm not familiar with anti-rock. Interesting. You guys can see the suspension here. Yeah, this is a lot of stuff that I'm actually not too familiar with, so it'll be interesting to see how this performs. Got these aftermarket fender flares. You can see the side step there. And if we pop over to the rear, let's quick look at the suspension system. And we'll take a few steps back so you guys can see the full side profile. Yeah, this thing is an absolute beast. Look at that. Some other notable things, we do have a tonneau cover here in the back, and obviously a bed because, well, it's a Gladiator. You can see the recovery points here. You've got aftermarket bumper with the light pods as well. Got this big old exhaust tip sticking out the side. Pretty crazy. And then the interior is not too crazy. It's pretty much just a normal Rubicon interior. So, pretty normal. We do have some stuff added. So it looks like this might be for some of the lights, potentially. I also have this whole control stack as well. But yeah, it's a Rubicon, so I think the most exciting part is to, well, hear what the exhaust sounds like and drive it. It's awkward to get in. Okay, well, V8 Gladiator. The Gladiator that Jeep never made because who knows? Who knows these things? Because, you know, this is the same platform as the Wrangler, right? Just for the truck bed, so it would have been easy enough for them to just do the same thing, do the same 392 treatment. Just never did. And damping's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I was a little bit worried with the 20-inch wheels and the shocks that I have never heard of before. Just because something's not name brand doesn't mean that it's not good, right? Sounds good. It's a little bit floaty. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, it definitely has that, like, I wonder if that sway bar system is making it so that it's disconnected and that's why it's so floaty back and forth. It's very interesting. Brakes are not bad. I thought that, you know, with the extra weight it might make the braking feel a little bit weird, but it doesn't feel weird at all. They feel just as strong as you would expect them to feel. Man, this is a riot. Oh, I guess I could have turned on that road, I forgot. Oh, actually we'll do this one. I think this is the one that gets through pretty well. It's not quite as responsive. I wonder if this was re-geared. Like the 392 Wranglers, you know, 4.56 axle ratio, so that changes the responsiveness quite a bit. But yeah, I'm wondering if this is, man, this really does float. I'm wondering if those sway bars are front and back are disconnected, because it's not like uncontrollable, but it's strange to say the least. It's the way that I would put it. But it's not hard to drive. So that's something important to note. It almost feels kind of like a high-strung 5.7 Hemi. It's 6.4, but like it just on the low end. It's interesting. I wonder if this has a fuel economy reading. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. You know, 37s in a 6.4 Hemi, not going to get great fuel economy. Interesting. Very interesting. Definitely sounds a lot different than the 392. That's what I noticed whenever there's crate engines put in a vehicle. It doesn't have the same sound. It's very interesting. Oh, okay, I see you. We'll get another acceleration. But boy, oh boy, does that sound good. Pretty crazy what they're doing here. Yeah, the floating, I mean, look at the steering, and the car just kind of floats. It's probably the weirdest part of the experience of driving this. I wonder what they're building here. Something. A building with doors. Potentially we'll have people inside of it. Ooh, right? So I guess we'll get into summing things up. We'll get another acceleration here, but I think this thing looks pretty cool. It's interesting with the drive, and I mean, we all know that Jeep should have done this. This was a huge missed opportunity by Jeep. They could have sold so, like the Gladiator didn't do horribly, but like initially it sold pretty well, and then it just died in sales. And I think it would have done a lot better if it had a real cool halo car that this is. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is I think it's cool. And obviously, whenever you get stuff from the factory, it's almost always better to have an OEM option, because then covered under warranty. And you know, when they've got millions and millions of dollars of engineering backing something, it usually works a little bit better than aftermarket. This still drives really well. It's pretty easy to plug and play one of these 6.4 Hemis into this. Oh, I was gonna get an acceleration with the Tesla. Okay, we'll wait for the Tesla to go a little bit. Oh, rambunctious. It's definitely not as quick as the Wrangler. I think this isn't re-geared. I think it's probably just got the normal 410s with the Rubicon, which is still pretty aggressive gearing. But you know, with the 37s and the engine and everything, 4.56 axle ratio like what the 392 has wouldn't be a bad thing to have. That's for sure. It's still quick. It's still a lot more powerful than a V6 Wrangler, or definitely a diesel Wrangler too. Not Wrangler, I mean Gladiator. Brain fart. They're the same car. I want to get like a better acceleration, so we'll wait and I'll get you guys another one up here in just a second. Okay, so the best I can get you guys is, I guess, a little thing down this road, and then that'll be it. Oh, so tire noise is going to be a little bit louder, by the way. Again, it's expected when you've got 37-inch tall tires. So, it's rowdy. Let me know what you guys think about the V8 Gladiator, and well, Jeep, you had an opportunity and you missed the mark.